Hi, I'm Chiffon, and welcome to our online training. Today I'm going to talk to you about the present simple tense. This is one of the most common verb tenses you will use as you speak English. We use the present simple to describe things that are generally true or always happen. For example, I speak English. This is generally true. It always happens. I'm not talking necessarily about specifically at this moment. In general, I speak English. Or I might say, I go to church on Sundays. This is generally true. It's not a specific Sunday. It's an ongoing thing. It often happens. I go to church on Sundays. Most of the time in the present simple, the version or the conjugation of the verb that you use will be the same with each pronoun, except for a few. So, for example, the verb study. If the pronoun is I study. If the pronoun is you study. If the pronoun is they study. Or we study. However, with he, she, or it, usually the verb conjugation will change to be different. So in this case, we would change study to studies. He studies, she studies. It studies, if an it can study. So here are the general rules or guidelines for how you can know which way to conjugate the verb in the third person pronouns. Most verbs that end in a simple consonant will change only by just adding an S on the end. So for example, the verb listen. I listen, you listen, he listens. We just add the S on the end. So most verbs that just end with a simple consonant, all you need to do is add an S to make the correct conjugation for he, she, or it. If the verb ends with a consonant followed by a Y, for example, in the case of the verb study, then you'll need to drop the Y and add I-E-S. So for example, I study, when put into the third person, becomes she studies. If the verb ends in an SH, a CH, an S, or an X, add ES. So for example, the verb wash. The verb wash will become washes in the third person pronouns. So with the verb wash, I wash, you wash, they wash, we wash, he washes, or she washes. So these are just a few guidelines that can help you to remember how to properly conjugate verbs in the present simple into the right pronoun context. There are also two common verbs that are irregular in their conjugation that we need to bring up. The verb go in the third person pronoun conjugation becomes goes, G-O-E-S. And the same for the verb do. In the third person, the conjugation becomes does, D-O-E-S. So those are some helpful pointers for the present simple. We'll go ahead and do a worksheet related to that, and then we'll go over it together in class.